Jenna Ortega or Christina Ricci? Who really portrayed Wednesday Addams the best? Today we are going to break down which actress truly brought the character to life in the most iconic way. Was one better than the other, or were they both equally as good? Let's dive in and decide. Wednesday Addams is a character from the Addams Family franchise who was created by cartoonist Charles Addams. She is a young girl with an obsession with death and is often described as brilliant, particularly for her talent for conducting strange and unusual scientific experiments. Fascinated by the Bermuda Triangle, she frequently startles others with her gothic appearance and macabre interests. In the films, Wednesday is portrayed as a young girl with a dark, sadistic personality, while in the TV series she is a teenager who explores detective work and writes gothic mystery novels. So, who are the two iconic actresses we're pitting against each other today? Christina Ricci is an actress known for portraying unusual characters with a dark edge. She began her career as a child actor, famously playing Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family films. Ricci later became a teen idol with roles in Casper and Now and Then. In the late 90s, she began working on more adult-oriented dramas, starring in films like The Ice Storm and Monster. A strong supporter of indie cinema, Ricci has also made numerous appearances on TV shows like Ally McBeal, Grey's Anatomy, and Yellow Jackets, earning multiple Emmy nominations for her work. Jenna Ortega stars as Wednesday Addams in her own Netflix series. An American actress, Ortega began her career on the Disney Channel in the 2010s before transitioning to horror and gothic roles. Often dubbed as Gen Z's Scream Queen, she is recognized for her roles in numerous slasher films including X, Scream, and the Babysitter franchise. Her portrayals of societal outcasts in films like Beetlejuice and series like Wednesday have also earned her significant recognition. Ricci and Ortega each bring their own spooky flair to the character of Wednesday, making their portrayals very distinct. However, with one version coming from the movies and the other coming from a TV show, there are bound to be differences in their performances, so let's talk about them. The first major difference between the characters that I want to highlight is the age gap between the actresses when they first portrayed Wednesday. Ricci was around 10 years old when she first shot the first Addams Family film, while Ortega was 19 when the show's first season filmed. Even their iconic looks differ slightly. Ricci sported dark braided pigtails and wore a black dress with a white collar, black stockings, and black shoes, an outfit that became synonymous for Wednesday's iconic look. Ortega sticks to the black and white color scheme, but her wardrobe is more varied. While she too has pigtails, Ortega's Wednesday has distinct straight bangs, which I respect. Additionally, Ricci's Wednesday was a supporting character taking the back seat to Christopher Lloyd's Uncle Fester, who served as the film's protagonist. In contrast, Ortega's Wednesday is the star of her own series where she is front and center. Now, let's dive into some of the differences in their performances. In the films, Ricci's portrayal of Wednesday is defined by her independence, strength, and her deep love for her family, with her interactions with her brother Pugsley becoming some of the more memorable scenes from the films. However, when Wednesday begins her journey at Nevermore, she becomes more distanced from her family. In contrast, Ortega's version of Wednesday is presented as a more solitary figure. She embraces her newfound independence, but is portrayed as more of a loner than Ricci's version. Ortega's performance also emphasizes a Wednesday who is more comfortable being on her own, where Ricci's, however, shows a character who values her place within her family, often delighting in tormenting her brother Pugsley. Ortega's subtle expressions when she's dropped off at school really conveys the fact that she is frustrated with her family at the start of the series. Netflix's Wednesday reimagines the character as a coming-of-age drama, focusing on the challenges of adolescence both internally and with her relationships with others. This approach adds depth and complexity to Wednesday, making her a more vibrant and multidimensional character compared to the movie version. And remember the age difference I mentioned earlier? As a result, Ortega's Wednesday experiences greater autonomy, responsibility, and higher expectations from those around her, reflecting her more mature stage in development. By exploring these aspects of Wednesday's life, the series provides a more layered and dynamic portrayal than what we see in the films. Another noticeable difference between Ricci's and Ortega's portrayals is how Ortega brings a much funnier side to Wednesday. In the 90s films, Ricci's Wednesday is dark and serious, and she rarely shows any sign of joy. While Ricci's character doesn't necessarily aim to make people laugh, Ortega's Wednesday seems to actively encourage it with her dry wit and sharp comebacks. While Ricci delivers Wednesday's sarcastic lines with complete seriousness, Ortega leans more into the humor, highlighting the character's clever and witty sense of humor. Wednesday's most iconic quotes from the Addams Family films highlight her love for all things dark, as well as her talent for delivering sharp insults while maintaining a cold, detached demeanor. This is all thanks to Ricci's strong performance, which makes Wednesday appear consistently serious and unapproachable. While both versions of Wednesday share a gloomy disposition, Ricci's portrayal is far less complex compared to Ortega's. Ricci's Wednesday embraces her role in the unconventional Addams family, relishing in her individuality and her clear fascination with death and danger. However, her emotions and thoughts are often difficult to read as she frequently appears detached with very little expression on her face. Ricci keeps Wednesday's feelings hidden, enhancing her kind of enigmatic nature. When comparing how both actors bring this iconic role to life, one who's all about death and pranks, Ricci's version stands out for being more mysterious. She keeps us guessing, ensuring that we never feel like we fully know Wednesday. We understand her fascination with the darker side of life, but there's still a lot about her that remains puzzling. Both performances are incredible, each bringing something unique to the character. While Ricci's portrayal is more mysterious, Ortega's version could be considered more relatable. We also spend more time with Ortega's Wednesday as we follow her throughout an entire TV series, rather than just experiencing the character in just 2 films. While both versions of this beloved character are gloomy, Ricci's portrayal feels less layered compared to Ortega's. Ricci's Wednesday takes pride in being part of a unique family and is comfortable with not conforming to others. She clearly has a fascination with death and danger, however, it's often hard to gauge what Wednesday is truly thinking or feeling as she appears emotionally detached. Ricci keeps her expressions minimal, revealing very little about what lies beneath the surface. When it comes to Wednesday's oddness, Ricci's version gives us a stronger sense of it than compared to Ortega's. This is likely due to the different settings of these 2 projects. In the movie, Ricci's Wednesday interacts with the normal people who genuinely find her spooky and bizarre. In contrast, the TV show doesn't evoke that same feeling, as Wednesday is portrayed as an oddball at a school full of oddballs. For example, Ortega's Wednesday isn't the only student skilled in swordplay, nor is she the best. However, Ortega still brings something new and memorable to the character. One of the most unforgettable moments in the TV show occurs in episode 4 of the first season, titled "Whoa, What a Night," when Wednesday dances. While this scene could have been easily turned silly, Ortega stays true to Wednesday's very serious nature, even while dancing. At the same time, she also adds a touch of whimsy, subtly showing that Wednesday is enjoying herself. This marks a significant shift compared to Ricci's portrayal, where Wednesday rarely shows any enjoyment and often comes across as tough and unimpressed. Ortega's version, at least in this episode, introduces a quirkier side to the character, and we love it. Honestly, it's just great to have 2 fantastic portrayals of Wednesday to enjoy. But we are here to decide who is the best Wednesday, and I think it's a close call. especially given the iconic status of both Wednesday portrayals at this point. However, in my opinion, I think Ricci's performance in the films truly captures the character's essence and persona while also leaving audiences with a little mystery. I will say the series does add a lot to the character, especially because she's front and center as the protagonist, and Ortega's Wednesday does sort of build off of Ricci's character while adding her own flair, which is very much enjoyed. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below to let me know who you think is the best Wednesday. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And you should let me know who you would like to see in the next showdown. Until then, I will see you next time right here on Collider.